Hey, welcome to the Carl Jackson Show podcast, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. I feel like there's a Psyops campaign being waged against us, some psychological type warfare by the Kamala Harris campaign. Guys, I want you to understand that Bidenomics is Kamalanomics. And she should not be allowed to get away with everything that's been transpired. This is going to be my mantra leading all the way up to the election. We're going to call this lady out for the communist that she is. Right now, she didn't just take Trump's tax for tips pledge, but she actively voted against it. She was the deciding vote in the Green New Deal, basically. They called it the Inflation Reduction Act. As we all know, because we've been living through it, inflation has not decreased under the Biden-Harris administration. It has increased. And then there's news today that inflation is down slightly. Inflation is down from, this level. It's like inflation is like 30% or some insane number. And it's dropped a few points year over year. And it's still way higher than it was under Trump. And the Biden-Harris administration want to take credit for it. But beyond that, this was the lady that actively sought to sick IRS agents on servers, on waitresses in the Green New Deal or the Inflation Reduction Act, which, again, it didn't do any of that. But we should not allow Kamala Harris to divorce herself from Bidenomics, from the Biden campaign. As a matter of fact, I think she will be a whole lot worse than Joe Biden. Here's Susan Rice. Susan Rice, as you guys know, used to work in the Obama administration. She was responsible for the Benghazi lies, she and Hillary Clinton. But she also worked in the Biden administration at the beginning of the Biden administration, I believe, for the first couple of years. Here's what Susan Rice had to say about divorcing Kamala Harris from the Biden-Harris policies, and how she believes that, Kamala Harris was integral. She was an integral part of the Biden-Harris administration. Let's go ahead and roll that. That's video clip number 9, por favor, Gabe.
This has been the Biden-Harris agenda. Kamala Harris has been an integral architect and executor of the policies of the Biden-Harris administration. So there will be important, as there should be, aspects of continuity in many policy areas. But of course, the vice president will outline her vision and where she sees opportunities to advance their collective agenda, the Biden-Harris collective agenda, and take it further forward. I think we all look forward to hearing that. But this notion that she somehow doesn't deserve credit for and isn't part of and wasn't an integral architect of the Biden-Harris administration agenda is not only false, it's frankly somewhat bizarre and offensive.
She just tied Kamala Harris to Bidenomics. She just tied Kamala Harris to Joe Biden. That's exactly what Kamala Harris has been hiding away from the media and trying to divorce herself from Joe Biden. This was a lady that had given plenty of interviews in recent months talking about how great Bidenomics was going, and how she backed Joe Biden, and how Joe Biden, was as sharp as a tack and all this kind of stuff. And now she's trying to divorce herself from it. And she wants us to believe that somehow she was a communist. She was a communist as a DA, as an AG, as a senator, and as vice president, or a far left radical at the very least. And all of a sudden, no. The only reason I was acting that way, especially as vice president, was simply because I was just going along with the ticket. I mean, this lady is absolutely insane. And I think what they're doing, it goes beyond gaslighting, because we know ultimately that if Kamala Harris gets in office and if Tim Walz gets in office, everything that they say that they're not for now, they're going to implement. We know that. Now she's saying, this is tip to Daily Wire, the Harris campaign told Fox News today that the Democratic nominee will not push a Medicare for All plan, despite campaigning on providing universal Medicare just 5 years ago. So remember, when she was running for president of the United States, she thought this was a great idea. So her campaign told Fox News' Peter Doocy, that Harris, who campaigned on this issue and pushing Medicare for All in 2020, will not make the same promise on this campaign. So she won't make the same promise. It doesn't mean she won't do it. Remember exactly what Barack Obama did. Did he run on Obamacare? Did he run on socialized medicine? No, he absolutely did not. But once he got in, that guy was a Marxist, and he wanted to put his stamp on the presidency and on the United States, and he did it with Obamacare, and healthcare has not been the same since. This is what Harris told Peter Doocy in 2019 when she was a senator, then Senator Kamala Harris, but getting ready to step into the ring if she hadn't already. She said, quote, so the bottom line and the most important is, and the most important, it doesn't say the most important thing, is that everyone have access to health care. That is the goal. That is the purpose for me supporting the policy of Medicare for all. That's what she said. Medicare for all will cover all medically necessary services, including emergency room visits, doctor visits, vision, dental, hearing aids, mental health, and substance use disorder treatment, and comprehensive reproductive health care services. It will also allow the Secretary of Health and Human Services to negotiate for lower prescription drug prices. So price controls on drug prices. You know what happens when you put price controls on drug prices? You run out of medicine because all of a sudden everybody and their mother can afford it. But the people that actually manufacture and make the medicine, it doesn't drive down their costs. They still have costs. So they end up going out of business too. These people absolutely don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not going to allow her to get away with it. Again, these people, this is psychological warfare. And I feel that way for this particular reason, because they aim to take us out. You will own nothing and you will be happy. There was a video, and honestly, I don't think we have this video, where a woman was in a group, one of these polling groups, and she said, the government is killing us, basically. They're killing us with the economy. Not necessarily with a gun, but with an economy. But I just want to remind you of who Kamala Harris is. This is a video. I'm gonna segue onto another topic real quickly, and then I'm gonna come right back to the economy with something JD Vance said. But I want to take you to this video. This is video clip number. You guys have probably almost forgot about this. This is the Taliban. Did you guys know that the Taliban held a parade today? You know why? They wanted to celebrate the 3-year anniversary of the Biden-Harris campaign, leaving behind $85 billion in U.S. equipment. And that equipment is being sold all over the world. Let's go ahead and roll that video. That's video clip number 1. Por favor, Gabe.
There's
our equipment. Looks nice. Taliban strutting it. Wow, look at that. Look at our helicopters. Biden-Harris's gift to the Taliban.
اسلامي امارت د هوایي ځواک تقویې ترمیم او پراختیا ته کلک تعهد لري او په تیرو درو کلونو کې ګڼ شمېر څرخه کې او الوتکې ترمیم او د پرواز وړ ګرځولې دي. بینندگان و شنوندگان مراسم، اینک کندک دوم تانگاهای زیری جاریدار آمریکایی که در میدان نبرد سینه دشمن را میشکافد با نظم و دیسیپلین عالی و کمال احترام به مقامات عالی رتبه امارت اسلامی و مهمانان گرامی.
Yeah, having a parade in our honor. 3 years ago, the Afghanistan withdrawal debacle, the withdrawal, the retreat, the surrender, and we left $85 billion in equipment behind, as well as the Bagram Air Force Base. So Bagram Air Force Base is now controlled by China, thanks to the Biden-Harris administration. It is absolutely overwhelming. It's overwhelming to see this stuff, but it goes on. It goes on. And there's news about the economy today that we'll get to shortly. But it goes on. I've got clip after clip after clip. This is something that I don't typically do, but I want you to hear these points in other people's words as well as my own today. This is JD Vance, obviously the vice presidential nominee. And he talked about listening to Kamala Harris give a rally recently where she said she's going to tackle the affordability crisis on day one. His answer is my answer. I love this answer. Let's go ahead and roll it. This is video clip number 2. Por favor, Gabe.
Now, I was listening to Kamala Harris, give a rally recently because she doesn't talk to the media. She just talks behind a teleprompter. We're going to take some questions from the media after this, as a matter of fact. But she said she's going to tackle the affordability crisis affecting American families on day one. Think about that. Kamala, day one was January of 2021. Day one was 4 years ago, Kamala Harris, and because of your policies, too many children can't afford a nice meal, too many children have been killed by fentanyl, too many grandparents are raising kids they didn't plan for, and too many families can't afford a special meal on a Friday night.
All right. So he's absolutely right. Kamala, day one was January of 2021. And this lady is waging this psychological warfare against you because she really wants you. This has gone beyond gaslighting. She really wants you to believe that she would be different from Joe Biden. Oh, and she would be. She would be further to the left, if you could imagine, because remember, it was Joe Biden that was appeasing the radical left, the Kamala Harrises, the AOCs, the squad, if you will. By the way, Ilhan Omar won her primary overwhelmingly. Hopefully she'll be defeated in the general, but that is going to be an uphill battle, just to be frank with you. So on day one, her day one was January 2021. Day one was January 2021. So already you have Kamala Harris that is complicit in handing over $85 billion in U.S. military equipment to the Taliban. And that's also, remember, we have 13 servicemen killed, servicemen and women actually killed in Afghanistan when they were in the middle of that retreat. Absolutely insane. And then J.D. Vance frames this the right way. You've been there. You've been there for 3.5 years, Kamala. What are you talking about? And it isn't that she is taking. It isn't that she's just stealing the tax for tips. She fought against it. There was a Daily Wire article. I got to find it. There was a Daily Wire article, and I'll be honest with you. There's been so much stuff. I almost forgot about it. Let me see if I can find it. But it literally breaks down the, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here scrolling, but it literally breaks down. Here it is. Kamala, no tax on tips. Copycat proposal blindsided Dems after some slammed Trump's idea, according to a report. Now, so VP Kamala Harris, the article says, no tax on tips, quote unquote, pitch that she unrolled in Las Vegas 1 month after Trump made the same proposal. Actually, it was nearly 2 months. Blindsided Democrats, some of whom had called Trump's idea bogus and an election year ploy. So Democrats were calling it bogus, an election year ploy, and then Kamala Harris steals it. And so now they have to flip the script. Harris told supporters last weekend, quote, "It is my promise to everyone here, when I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America, including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers." Trump proposed ending taxes on tips for service workers at his Las Vegas rally on June 9th. So again, that was over 2 months ago. So after Trump made the proposal, Democrats such as Senate Finance Committee Chair Ron Wyden, Senate Finance Committee member Debbie Stabenow, senior member of the House Ways and Means Committee Lloyd Doggett, all of these Democrats blasted Trump. Wyden labeled Trump's plan a bogus proposal. Some on the left have also expressed concern that such a policy will give employers a reason to forego raising hourly wages and result in businesses pushing even harder to solicit tips from customers. But now they have to back Kamala Harris because now she stole it, except she didn't, because she was the deciding vote. Remember, she is the president of the Senate. So she was the deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act. 50 senators, right? Split. All right. The Senate. She's the deciding vote, she was the deciding vote back then on the Inflation Reduction Act, which actually would force the IRS to go after the workers that are getting tips, service workers that are getting tips. So where's she at? You know she's going to do this stuff if she gets in. So the goal is to make sure that she doesn't get in. Otherwise, guys, I got to tell you that this economy, as we know it, is going to be absolutely screwed. These are just some headlines. Consumer prices rise 2.9% in July. 2.9%. Big Lots is closing hundreds of stores. Macy's is doing the same. They're getting rid of a wave of their stores and their shopping malls, because places like Macy's, JCPenney's back in the day used to be the place where, you could go to, enter through, and they had the parking lots, and they would rent out the rest of the mall stores, many of them, to some of the smaller stores. They're getting rid of it. I got to tell you guys, I'm heartbroken. Macy's is my favorite store to shop in. I'm not even going to lie to you. That is the God's honest truth. Every Christmas season, it's where I do literally almost all of my shopping, because when they have things on sale, it is like, it's crazy. The sales are crazy, and it's all name brand stuff, top quality stuff. I literally get, whenever I go shopping there, I'm literally looking at stuff that's 60-70% off. I mean, I get it for nothing. And I absolutely love it. And they always have great stuff. So I'm saddened to know that so many more of their stores are going to be closing. I understand the times that we're living in, but maybe they'll make some more outlets that'll have it or whatever. Oh man, Columbia University President Manoush Shafiq resigns after the pro-Hamas protest. So that's breaking news, and that's trending. That's trending right now. Let me tell you what else is trending. The topic of gold has been trending lately, and I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you actually about protecting your wealth. If I can find the ad in just a second, because this is I know that this is tape, but like right now as I sit, I'm sitting here performing live. All right. So anyway, I want to talk to you guys. If I can get it I want to talk to you guys about wealth protection research. All right. So with the volatility from this election and our national debt just breaking 35 trillion for the first time ever, there has never been a better time than now to consider physical gold or silver as a way to protect your savings. I'm concerned that if this election goes sideways, things are going to get even worse. So here's the good news. The good news is there is something you can do now ahead of whatever future chaos might be coming. Wealth Protection Research has found a gold partner in Sasco Gold that specializes in helping everyday Americans protect their retirement accounts like 401ks, IRAs, or TSPs using a loophole that allows them to convert into physical gold or silver tax and penalty free. All you have to do is text the word truth to 76626 to learn more. That's right. You can break free from your captive retirement account and enjoy the peace of mind knowing your retirement savings is now stored in physical gold and silver that you control. So if you are interested in learning the truth about how you can protect your retirement with gold and silver, you can get a free gold investment kit that explains it all from Sasco Gold. All you have to do is text the word truth to 76626. Drew from Sasco is standing by waiting to help my listeners. Text the word truth to 76626. That's 76626. And Drew, again, from Sasco is standing by waiting to help my listeners. You can get your call him for your free gold investment kit. Again, text the word truth to 76626. So JD Vance is doing a good job, by the way. He puts Kamala Harris on blast. So we've touched the Taliban. We've touched the economy. We're going to go back to the economy in a second. But now I want to go to California Sheriff Mike Boudreaux. You guys remember the ad that Kamala Harris played or launched? I believe she launched it over the weekend. And basically, what happened was Kamala Harris she wants this image now that she was tough on crime, even though in California she was soft on crime, and she's responsible in part for Proposition 47 in California. Proposition 47, which we've talked about here on this podcast, which literally gave criminals the right, if you will, to go out and steal stuff from business owners up to $950. Now, I don't know who's checking the price tags at the door, but you can steal stuff up to $950. That was a felony. That price range was downgraded to a misdemeanor. But here's the problem too that I shared with you the other day. That crime would have been a felony. Somebody would have been fingerprinted, probably swabbed, so that they had DNA evidence if this person was to ever commit a felonious crime again. But now, since those charges have been downgraded to misdemeanors, they don't swab people. So you have thugs that are out stealing that can go out and commit more violent crimes, and then you'll never know who they are. because there's no DNA sample of them or or necessarily fingerprints, thanks to Kamala Harris, or at least DNA samples. Thank you, Kamala Harris. So let's play this. This is California Sheriff Mike Boudreaux. All right. So this Psyops campaign of Kamala Harris that she's running, because understand, it's not just gaslighting. This lady is trying to convince you that she's something that she's not. And if she gets elected, she's going to tear you behind up. Let's go ahead and roll it. Video clip number 3. Por favor, Gate.
She absolutely does not have my support. Here in California, we want a leader who's going to support law enforcement. As you know, she helped support BLM rioters trying to bail them out of jail. She was a huge supporter of defunding the police. When you get to that little task force there collecting that methamphetamine, it was a lot of local law enforcement working hard to bring the drugs off the streets. In that particular situation, she came in, she didn't even shake law enforcement's hand, she did the soundbite, and she left. What we need to do is make sure that we have a leader who's going to support law enforcement. I couldn't, in good faith, standing there alongside my colleagues, remotely give the implication that we were supporting Kamala Harris. And to note, during that time, if you research just a little bit, when she was the Attorney General under Governor Brown, she removed over 50 different task force from Bureau of Narcotic Enforcement under her command. Ooh. And so that's not a leader we need for law enforcement. We need someone who's going to stand behind law enforcement, just like Donald Trump does.
This AstroTurf campaign, she's going to be horrible on foreign policy. She's going to be horrible on the economy. What about censorship and using? What about censorship and using these? I'm sorry, guys. For those of you that are watching online, by the way, subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast: Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. Also, all things social media, or find my podcast at The Carl Jackson Show. All right. All things social media at The Carl Jackson Show. But also this, we know that the censorship giants, if you will, the social media giants are out. Not just social media, but Google, the biggest search engine, is out to they're backing Harris. And how do we know? Well, Google is blaming a glitch for how the Harris campaign was able to trick internet users like you and I into thinking that reputable news sites were giving Kamala favorable reporting. So it's crazy because these glitches always happens. It always affects those of us on the right, never on the left. Roll video clip number 4, please, Gabe.
Axios reporting the campaign is giving real news articles a pro-Kamala Harris spin and then using them in Google ads. Martha McCallum's been looking at this, and she joins us now. Good morning to you. Welcome back.
Good morning, Bill.
To see you.
Great to see you.
Get ready for Chicago, all right?
Here we go.
Save that for a moment here. So the trick was we'll make it like an ad. And we'll reframe the headline so that when you're searching, maybe you see the spot and you read the headline, but maybe you don't understand that it's actually sponsored by the campaign. Show it, guys. Here we go. So this involved what? They cited CNN, NPR, Reuters, Associated Press, The Guardian a lot. And you would see this as you were going through your internet search. And, well, that's cheating.
Wow, it is. Wow. You know, this is really, and I should also point out that Google says that there was a glitch in their system that meant that some of the sort of barriers that they try to put in to make it clear what this is weren't working. Oops. I wonder if it was true for other campaigns as well. We don't know that yet, but they say they're looking into that. But just as an example, so this is a Guardian headline. VP Harris fights abortion bans. Harris defends reproductive freedom. Well, those things are true. That's a factual statement. That's something that she backs and supports. But then they have a description under the headline. So you know how there's a headline when you read a news story. Then there's an under headline that you read in the news story. But it says this: VP Harris is a champion for reproductive freedom and will stop Trump's abortion bans. So the second line in what looks like a news story is actually a campaign slogan, a campaign statement. And, we all look at so much information, take in so many things so quickly throughout the day, right? This is very subtle, very manipulative. And in a moment when you also have a stepped up threat from Iran trying to get their bots into all of this and influence people in ways that are very subtle and difficult to figure out, this is something that I think requires a lot of diligence on the part of people who are looking for this information.
And Google says it's just what? They got one by the goalie?
Yeah, Google says, well, there was a glitch. There's supposed to be more disclosure that this is an ad, a campaign ad, and they're going to work on it.
Yeah, it's a glitch. Google's going to work on it. They're going to make sure that they keep on rolling and roll out even more ads that look like headlines that support the Kamala Harris, the Harris Walls campaign. I'm sure they'll be able to find all of the ones that glitch and the headlines that are really ads that are supporting the Trump-Vance campaign. I'm sure they'll come up with those shortly. Here's another video, just so that you understand. We're dealing with corrupt some of these, Google, obviously a big search engine. You're dealing with censorship already that you're seeing in some places. Thank God that Elon Musk bought Twitter. But you're seeing censorship on some places already when it comes to the elections, places like Facebook, for example. But we've talked about the economy, how Kamala Harris will destroy that. She's been over the economy. And guys, let's be real. Joe Biden has been a vegetable probably quickly into his administration. I mean, I didn't think the guy was going to last 6 months. This is going back to his inauguration. I thought he was fried. His brain was fried then. So honestly, I can't imagine what the people that were actually seeing behind the scenes. But you have to imagine that there were two presidents, essentially a president and vice president. One of them was taking in information and the other wasn't. The only one that's capable or was capable of taking in information would have been Kamala Harris. So I would say that Bidenomics is Kamalanomics, and we should not allow her to run from that. Biden's policies are hers, just as Susan Rice said that once worked in the administration. This is video clip number 5. I want you guys to get a taste of her supporters, because this is a totally astroturf campaign, and maybe some of these people, if they have to think through it, will figure that out themselves. This is video clip number 5. This is Turning Point USA, apparently at an event for Kamala Harris in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's go ahead and roll that, por favor, Gabe.
Today, we're trying to find out from the attendees what Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment has been as VP.
I mean, honestly, I'm not too into politics. I'm just here for the vibe.
Becoming the first female vice president.
So becoming the VP is the best accomplishment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a good person.
Being a good person?
Yeah. She's I don't know. She seems really good for women.
Harris is there with the energy. She has a lot of enthusiasm, so it's important to get behind her.
What is Kamala's top accomplishment, you think?
I can't say anything right now. Give me a second.
Her top contributions to policy or policy as VP.
I wasn't in on the policy making decisions with President Biden, so I don't know.
Her favorite policies? Oh my gosh. See, I wish they would tell us more about that, because I honestly don't know. I know she's done some good work with immigration, even though they say opposite.
What do they say?
Well, what is it? She's the border czar.
She's the fake border czar.
It's her fault that all these immigrants are coming over, to cross the border right now, which I don't think they are.
People have been saying that Kamala is the border czar, or whatever that means. Is there an issue at the border? Has Kamala done anything about it? Or was there not anything to do about it, and so they're just kind of making things up?
So I don't think there's an issue with the border at all. I feel like, yes, illegal immigrants are coming to America, but that's what America's all about, is to come to America and live that American dream, because America isn't just for the whites. It's not just for the blacks. It's not just for the Mexicans. No, it's for everyone around the world. We're supposed to be a country of letting people come in and do what they'd like. I mean, I understand that with they say the border crisis is causing all these drug issues and is causing crime, but in my opinion, there's crime everywhere. You can go to New York, you can go to Canada, you can go anywhere across the world, and there's going to be crime regardless.
Yeah, it's a total. They're blowing it way out of proportion, huh?
Oh, for sure.
Would you say there's a problem at the border at all?
So there is a problem at the border. I really would wish for her to go visit the border while she's here. I don't know what's on her schedule and whatnot. But I mean, there's work to do, and I can't dismiss that. There's problems to fix, but My personal wish would be for her to visit the border with the governor so they could see what's going on.
All right. Okay, so here's what's troubling about that video. Obviously, you guys watched what I just watched. These people will go out and vote. They'll go out and vote based upon vibes. They'll go out and vote based upon, absolutely no policy agenda whatsoever. This is just the person that they like. And then the guy that was willing to talk about the border, well, isn't this America where everybody gets to come in? No, they get to come in legally. You couldn't leave the United States, go to another country, expect to just waltz in, and they'll let you do whatever the heck you want. People are just clueless. And this is the Harris administration. What we can hope for is that this vibe will end up winding down and wearing out. And as she gets questioned and as she's challenged, Lord willing, on the debate stage, hopefully Trump is effective with that. Then more people will open their eyes. But obviously, she's still in somewhat of a honeymoon period. Even though the polls aren't necessarily impressive, they are. It is a dangerously tight race. So we can't rest on our laurels. I want to show you another video clip here, real quick. This is Trump on Kamala. She's going to be announcing her plan, her economic plan. But we already know what her economic plan is. It's Bidenomics. It is high inflation. It is high food prices. It is high gas prices. She's been in office since January of 2021. And again, her brain wasn't fried. Biden's was. So there's no reason to doubt that she didn't play an integral part of the Biden-Harris administration. Oh, and by the way, we have a witness that says so now because she worked in the Biden-Harris administration. That was Susan Rice that we just watched. Now here's Trump on Kamala Harris. Let's go ahead and roll it. Por favor, Gabe.
Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view,
I'm sorry. That's the wrong one.
A public health emergency of international.
Well, we can play that. We can let that play through. You go ahead and let that play. That's the World Health Organization saying that we need to be worried about another.
That advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives.
Okay, so apparently we're supposed to stop some type of international outbreak of some sort. See, this is what sucks about this. There could be a level of truth to that, but they've lost all credibility, especially that guy. So I'm going to move right on for that. Obviously, it's an election season, and that's what you have to wonder nowadays. Sadly, these organizations probably need to be disbanded. At the very least, they need new leadership that people can trust. And right now, I don't see that happening. Okay, so here's what I wanted to play. I think it's video clip number 9. It's Donald Trump on Kamala and what she's going to do.
Kamala Harris won't end the economic crisis. She will only make it worse. And why hasn't she done it? She talks about it. She's doing a plan. She's going to announce it this week, maybe. She's waiting for me to announce it so she can copy it. Remember a couple of days ago?
He's obviously speaking of no tax on tips. But again, she's been in office for 3.5 years. So Kamala Harris, if she wanted to impact the economy, she could have easily gone to Joe Biden and say, I disagree with this. We should do this. We should do that. But she said she liked Bidenomics. She thought everything was working fine. And that's because she's absolutely clueless when it comes to economics. She thinks that she's going to raise the minimum wage. She thinks that she's going to set price controls and all of this kind of stuff. And that's going to magically make the economy better. No, that's going to destroy the economy. She's going to go after corporations. I don't even like a lot of these leaders, these CEOs, and a lot of these corporations that have gone woke. But if all you do is punish them, then all they'll do is pass their costs onto you, onto the consumer, and then you'll be out of even more cash. All right. So it's as simple as that. All right, I just want to make sure that there's nothing else that I want to play before we go night-night. And speaking of night-night, I do want to make sure that I tell you about My Pillow and the new deals that they're offering. So if you've asked and My Pillow has listened, they're finally bringing you the most requested offer ever right now. You can get the queen size premium My Pillow for only $19.98. My Pillow is made with patented adjustable feel. It adjusts to your exact individual needs regardless of your sleep position. It helps keep your neck aligned and holds its shape all night long, so you get the best shape of your life, or the best sleep of your life. I'm sorry. But that's not all. Get their 6-piece kitchen or bath towel sets for only $25. And I'm sorry if you're hearing my dogs howling, but they're agreeing. The brand new mattress topper, you can get that for as low as $69.98. Wow, that's a great deal. And their famous My Pillow bed sheets for as low as $25, and so much more. All you have to do is go to mypillow.com, or you can call them at 800-858-0263. Again, 800-858-0263. In either case, whether you call them or if you go to mypillow.com, use the promo code CARL, CARL, to get all of these huge discounts on all of the My Pillow products, including the premium queen size My Pillow that's only $19.98. Again, mypillow.com, promo code CARL. All right, so man, there's more video clips. I'm not sure that we're going to get to all of them. Democratic city officials in Aurora just kicked dozens of black families out of there. Let's hear this. Let's hear this. I'm not sure if this is even worth it, but this is one that I see on the clip sheet that I just want to play. This is video clip number 14, an emergency message to any black people supporting Kamala Harris. Democrat city officials in Aurora, Colorado just kicked dozens of black families out of their apartment complex because no, this can't be true. Gabe, I got to see this. Video clip number 14, please. This can't be true. This can't be true.
Many outgoing people, many of the residents that we talk to here simply say they have not had enough time to find more permanent housing, and they're really caught in the middle this morning.
I thought there would be some compassion, maybe a little bit of an extension to help these people find somewhere to go. They put some paperwork on our doors saying, if you find a place to go, we'll pay your deposit in first month's rent. I bet you $100 to $1 nobody has been put or placed or helped find somewhere to go.
Wow. Well, the building's management says that the problem stems from gangs that have pretty much overrun the entire building and taken control of the building. They say it's not the code violations that the city claims.
Okay, so I'm going to have to delve more into that story, what I'm reading, at least on X, and I'm going to have to verify. I simply don't know that that's true. But if this is true, that you have some people that are being kicked out of these family apartment complexes, and obviously you can tell it's probably low income, and Venezuelan migrant gangsters are taking over the building complex. That's worth looking into. So I'll have to check into that. But guys, listen, my goal is to encourage you to think, to do your own investigation. Kamala Harris is trying to pull off a Psyops campaign. This lady is waging war, I believe, against America and traditional values, against faith, family, freedom. I really do believe that. And I believe this goes beyond a gaslighting campaign. I don't believe that Kamala Harris intends to do anything. All of these positions, this lady is almost 60 years old. You're telling me within the span of a few months, actually weeks, she's going to back off of all of these policy positions that she just held a few weeks ago? I mean, did she have a come to Jesus moment? If she did, I'd like to know how it happened, when it happened. But I don't think she did. I think this lady's a liar. I think Kamala Harris is Joe Biden. I think Kamala Harris is Tim Walz. Guys, listen, I appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show. And until next time, do not grow weary doing good. God bless you.